Hello, everyone. Remember, it's me, and I have a little tradition that this is my third time doing, and that is ranking the top 30 strongest characters in One Piece of 2023. So, let's get in. I'm just gonna start right off this year. I should probably say this again. Crocodile's not on the list. I want to put him on the list, but he doesn't really have any feats. Let's get to the controversial list. So, number 30, I have Kobe. So, Kobe did something really impressive, and on top of that, he's been hyped up a decent chunk. Now, I only put him at 30 though because the other people above him are 100%. They pretty much have to be stronger than him or have been shown in a more competent light. Speaking of competence, we have Jinbei at 29. Jinbei, you all know what he can do. It's Jinbei, guys. Like, he's pretty cool. He damaged Big Mom. He bodied Who's Who as soon as he started taking it seriously. And yeah. Next is Kaku. He hasn't really done anything in Egghead, but not really much you can do. So yeah. Next one is Sanji. Yes, that's right, Sanji. I don't think Sanji's that guy. I gotta be honest. Y'all really love to hype him up, but he's just not him. Like, listen. There's a reason that it was the Supernova versus the Yonko, and Sanji was not on Roof Piece. Like, I'm sorry. And combine that with him high diffing Queen, which a lot of people are in denial. They say that, like, oh, but Queen, he low diffed Queen with like one combo or whatever. Yeah, but he also fainted afterwards, so it clearly took a lot out of him. So he's just above a second commander. Wow. You know? Next is Killer. Pretty spicy take. Bro, I'm sorry, but Killer, like, he damaged Kaido, man, with supersonic attacks. And while him fighting Hawkins isn't really impressive, he had to hold back against Hawkins out of fear of hurting Kid. Then we have King. King is just durable. His battle IQ is in the negatives, but, you know. He's extremely durable, and I gotta be honest, I don't know. I think only Killer could get past his defense on this list. I don't think anyone under him could. But even then, I don't think Killer can put him down, which is why he's, ranked above. Next is Green Bull. He's an admiral. He has to do something. And listen, I know people love bringing up the Shanks thing. Listen. The Shanks thing is, I feel like it's more of a hack rather than battle power, if that makes sense. So, I'll explain this right now. Green Bull's kind of a loser. Yes, that is right, you heard me. He's a loser, but he's strong. He's similar to a bully you had to deal with in grade school. Yes, he's physically strong, but emotionally he is incredibly weak, and Conqueror's Haki affects your willpower and drive. So, Green Bull would naturally be more affected by Conqueror's Haki because he's a loser. But yet, look, he's strong. He's a strong loser. I think he just has a really bad matchup against Conqueror's Haki. Anyway, next one, Katakuri. My boy. I love Kat. He's great. He's awesome. He's Katakuri. He's got future sight. He's got better armament Haki than Luffy in Whole Cake Island. He's like considered the strongest of the Big Mom pirates. The Big Mom pirates at least scale relative to Kaido's pirates, thanks to Sparrow being on par with Jack. So that means ranking up, Cat should be on the same level as King. But guess what? Katakuri has a way better arsenal, and I would much rather have him in a fight. Next is Boa. Boa's pretty cool. She has some nice hacks abilities, and while she did get intercepted by Blackbeard, it's safe to say that Blackbeard considering herself super dangerous, and Blackbeard himself going to take this devil fruit proves that Boa is undoubtedly incredibly strong. Next is Marco. Bro, Marco blocked an attack from Kaido. Like, I'm sorry, that's a big feat. That's awesome. Uh, Fought King and Queen at the same. Marco's just that guy. Like, one on one with Kizaru, and Kizaru needed the call for a drone strike from a random vice admiral to put on the Sea Prism cuffs in order to win. Like, he's just that guy. Next one, Ben Beckman. He's supposed to be a rival to Shanks. I don't really subscribe to that theory, but you know, it's to each your own, right? And I think he's probably the strongest first commander apart from like Zoro, but I don't think he's like that guy. Anyway, 19, Fujitora, Giga Chad of the Marines. He's definitely strong, and he's one of the few people to stand up to a Kainu in the Marines, which is really impressive, but he hasn't shown a crazy feat. Next is Lucci. Fought Gear 5 Luffy. I'm sorry, like, that's just impressive. Like, that's just impressive. No, like, commander is doing that. The only people who do that are admirals and yonkos have fought Gear 5 Luffy and put up a decent fight. Granted, Lucci, he got clowned on by Luffy, but Luffy still went into Gear 5, you know? So, he has to at least be decently strong. Next is Law, fought Big Mom with Kid, and he's a really diverse fighter. Next is Kid. Bro, Kid's a monster. Listen, y'all just, like, y'all hate on him, but the problem is, it's not a Kid problem, it's just Shanks. Like, it's just Shanks, okay? Like, it's Shanks. It's not a Kid problem, it's just the hype of Shanks. Bro, he literally ran into one of the strongest characters in the world right now. And, like, what did you expect? Like, I like, sure, if Kid, like, went one-on-one with Shanks and lost, I would have bumped him up, honestly, into the top 10. But he didn't. But it's still imperative to know. Like, do you really think, like, two Luccis are gonna be able to take down Big Mom? Like, I don't think so. But anyway, that's beside the point. Above Kid is Zoro. Zoro, he's a monster, and he scarred Kaido, pretty much. And that's really all you need. His fight with King, he was completely destroyed. His body was completely destroyed while doing it, so most likely not as, you know, impressive as he should be. On top of that, he's fighting Lucci right now, and I think he'll beat Lucci pretty soundly. Then above him is Shiryu. Listen, you guys know the drill. Every year I'm just gonna bump Shiryu up to like one spot above Zoro until he loses. And also, he did get damage Garp. Like, that's a pretty good feat. He got knocked down right afterwards, but, you know, it was a feat. A feat's a feat, right? So, next is Kizaru. Bro, Kizaru is pretty hype. He fought Luffy. Granted, he got hit by, like, one named attack on a Luffy that was half power. And, like, dying. But not actually... He got... If he fought healthy Gear 5 Luffy, he would have been finessed, like, really badly. And he was finessed really badly against Luffy at half power, so he's not in the top half. Next is Rayleigh. I think Rayleigh would... it's so hard to tell. Because, yeah, Kizaru should... We know Kizaru and Rayleigh seem to be relative from their fight at Sabaody. But Rayleigh also scared Blackbeard. And, like, that's impressive. He said he couldn't beat Blackbeard at his current age. But Blackbeard's also a Yonko. And a monster. I have no doubt that Blackbeard will be, like... He's either going to be the second final boss of One Piece, or he's going to be the actual final boss. It's either him or Eden. Like, that's it. So, he's going to be strong, right? Anyway, next is Aokiji. Aokiji is that guy. Like, he's a pretty chill dude. He's really strong. Akainu, obviously. You know, the whole 7 days thing. And on top of that, he's on Garp's level, and Garp is also really, really crazy strong. By the way, I next is 10 with Sengoku. I would have put Sengoku there and then Garp one space above him. However, I believe Garp is dead, so Garp is obviously off the list. Everyone knows that? Okay, good. So, Sengoku, Fleet Admiral, he's literally like compared to Roger. And while he's gotten much, much older, just like Whitebeard, he never got sick. So that means he should be in a relatively better spot compared to Roger if he were still alive today, or Whitebeard, considering they both had a terrible sickness. And we saw what those two could do. So Sengoku, while getting older, he still should be crazy strong. Next is my sleeper pick, and that's Yamato. So everyone underestimates Yamato. I'm sorry. She is nuts, okay? You go one-on-one with Kaido for a substantial amount of time, and she was still standing after that. So, what? Is she just not at that level? No. Because guess what? She fought Kaido. Kaido is like the same strength as Gear 5 Luffy. It was a high diff fight on both ends, because Kaido was really weak, and Luffy was also weak, and they were relative. That's all you have to do. Look at how Luffy treated Kizaru, and then look at how Kaido look at how Kaido dealt with Yamato. Oh wait, he didn't deal with Yamato, because yeah, while Luffy did intercept and like finish the fight for Yamato, guess what? She would have lost. I have no doubt about that. But she still held in there for such a substantial amount of time that it's quite insane. And it's nuts. Anyway, above her is someone who's there for story reasons. It's Sabo. Okay? Sabo is crazy nuts. Also, Sabo should scale above his friends from the Reverie, the Revolutionary Army generals. Like, he scales above them, or he should, at least, being second in command. And they fought the admirals 2-on-1, but they still fought them, you know? So that's kind of crazy. And then Sabo's above them. Granted, he lost to a future member of the list being Im, but yeah. Next is the 5 elders. I had to put them all onto the list, or I didn't want... They're obviously making waves in the manga right now, but I didn't really know what to do with them, and I didn't want to separate them into different categories, so I just put the entire set of the 5 elders there. Next, number 6, Luffy. Luffy's going to beat the 5 elders this arc. I guarantee you. I will bet money on it. He's going to win. And even if they run away, guess what? I don't care. I don't care. Anyway, next is Blackbeard at number 5. So Blackbeard is just kind of that guy. He's crazy strong, and he's going to sneak Shanks in the back when no one is paying attention in one chapter, and we're all going to yell. Next is Akainu. Akainu's that guy. He's got the hype. He's got a crazy amount of hype, and undoubtedly he's going to be in the final saga in a major way, whether he's a midway opponent for Luffy or a final fight for Sabo. It's one of the two, so no matter what, he's going to be strong, and he's just going to have to, show us what he can do and what a Fleet Admiral can do. Next is Shanks. It's Shanks. I've dropped little sprinkles about how crazy Shanks is on this list, and yeah, he's that guy. Number 2 is Mihawk. I know the Mihawk and Shanks debate, yada yada yada. Listen, Shanks is a swordman. I'm sorry. He is. Mihawk has been stated multiple times to be a stronger swordsman and better combatant than Shanks. Okay? He is. That's it. I don't care. Shanks is a bloody swordsman. He's not a hockey man. He won't whip out the Haki Susanoo. He doesn't have Haki Kamui. Okay? No. He's not gonna shoot a ki blast made of hockey. That's it. No. He's a swordsman. Mihawk is above him. Mihawk is stated to have better swordsmanship than him on multiple different occasions. So, So, he's stronger. And number one, after all this weird debates and anger, it's Emu. Yes, Emu. Emu is going to be insane. Okay? We all know that. Emu is going to be nuts. I don't know their full name, what their backstory is. We don't even really know what he or her looks like, or they, them, or whatever. We don't know. All we know is that they can destroy the island, and they have put fear into Sabo and into the Marines and the 5 elders, who are number 7 on this list, all listen to Eam like a dog. Like, listen, Eam's just gotta be that guy. However, if I'm making a prediction for the future, either Eam or Blackbeard are going to change spots depending on who gets dealt with first. So I just wanted to put that out there. Anyway, yeah. I feel like this year this list was extra controversial. So yeah. Also, you may have noticed Law and Kid are on this list, despite the fact Garp is not. That's because I think Garp is dead, and I don't think Kid is dead. I'm really not sure about that, but at the same time, like, we haven't gotten a flashback, or not, we haven't gotten an update on him. Plus, he shared the same line with Law, where, like, the narrator at the end of the chapter where they both fell, it was Kid and the Kid pirates and the Heart pirates were both swiftly and soundly defeated. Like, it said something like that. And we know Law escapes. And Kid, so that means Kid should have wrote. I just think it would be a waste, and, you know, you can say I'm in denial or whatever, but I don't think Kid is dead, and I think he's going to get back up. I think that's kind of just what he does. And yeah, I love how I have to explain that. I genuinely put more time into explaining Kid's placement than I did, like, Shanks or Kainu Blackbeard, because, listen, you know who they are. You know the monsters. I gotta be honest, I think the lower half of the list is going to be much more debatable, but the higher you go, like, I'm sorry, like, Yamato was not losing to Kizaru. We saw Kizaru get packed up by Gear 5 Luffy, who's relative to Kaido. Like, that's just how it works, you know? Anyway, I know this has been a little bit discombobulated for, you know, a list of this caliber, and I've been genuinely more goofy, I feel, than I have in previous years, but I'm having fun with it, and I want you guys to have fun too. And one thing that I always get a kick out of is seeing who you would change around or what you disagree with. So if you could leave a comment, that'd be pretty sick. And I will see you guys in the next video. Alright, everyone. Peace out.